Everybody wants the perfect plan, the flawless strategy, the exact right moment. But while you're waiting, somebody else is moving. Somebody else is, in fact, winning. Action beats planning every single time. So today I'm going to show you why taking imperfect action creates momentum and why perfection only holds you back. The trap of perfect planning then. We have got to the fact that it's fun. We all love to plan. We all love doing our cute little Google Calendar when there's loads of different colours. And yes, I am wearing the exact same vest and chain right now than I am on this picture, yes. But anyways, feeling productive and being productive are two completely different things. When you're planning out your days, that's the fun part. That's when you get all of the different colours to divide all of your different little topics that you might be planning out. And it just feels really productive. However, it is procrastination in disguise because without actually doing the actions, all the planning doesn't mean anything, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you why action is just supremely better than being one of those little nerds that sits down and does all of the cute little planning on your calendar, just like me on this picture here. Because I love planning. That's the fun part, right? Doing the actual action is what we struggle with, and it's the more difficult part of this, right? So why action wins then? Because when we commit to action, we get feedback. And then once we've got feedback, we can use it for growth. So once we've got growth, we can then start getting more results, right? So for example, who do you think does better out of the guy that sits around and plans out the perfect pottery, where there was actually a study on this, and you guys can go on Google and look at this yourself, but they had two different controlled groups about who could make the perfect pot. And I got this from Alex Hormozy, by the way. But one pot was designed by people who were just only going to make one pot. They did all of the planning the whole time. And then there was another group that just made a shit ton of different pots and then just made little adjustments each time. Who do you think done better out of the two? The one that spent a whole year planning out, okay, so we're going to have all of the different measurements on here, we're going to curve it at this angle? Or do you think it was the guys that just made a single pot every single day, got feedback from that, and just made little improvements? It was the group, that just did 100 pots for the whole year and made little small improvements. And this could be the same for social media growth. For example, who do you think does better? The one that only posts one reel for the whole year, the one that looks at all of the different trends, all of the different trending audio, all of the best fonts to put down on the reel, all of the different transitions from clip to clip? Or do you think it was the guy that just posted every single day, looked at what was good about the reel, looked at what was shit about the reel, and made small improvements every single day? Of course, volume will always win against the perfect planner person, right? The person that just posts every single day and make small little incremental changes will always win. And I've got a few more analogies that will help you out because not everybody does content like I do. So we're going to talk about some different type of analogies. So we've got the gym analogy now. So we've got the beaker and test tube dork right here, this geezer. And then we've got the spastic meathead type of guy who just hits a PR every single workout and hits his calories consistently. So he practices progressive overload every single time he goes into the gym, and he also just hits his calories consistently. He only does two things. However, we've got the beakers and test tube guy. He's the type of guy that knows all of the stats. He knows that there's actually 0.81 grams per pound of body weight of protein required to build muscle. So he hits it to the exact mark. He hits 0.81 grams per pound of body weight protein. And he's also started taking ashwagandha to help control his cortisol levels. And he takes all of the vitamin D, he takes all of the micronutrients. But this guy here, he simply just goes into the gym, doesn't really think about it. He just makes slow gains every single time he goes into the gym, and he hits his calories consistently. They're the only two things that this guy does. Who do you think is going to make more gains? The one that sits down, he sees a new YouTube video and he's like, oh shit, maybe the barbell bench press isn't actually the exercise I should be doing. Maybe I should be doing the what's it called? The dumbbell bench press instead, right? So usually when you've got the science beakers and test tube dorks that go to the gym, they're the type of people to change things up all the time. They just every single time they get a little bit of momentum, they'll restart things because it's just the right thing to do, right? Because there's a more optimal way of doing things. And then instead of just sticking to the same diet and hitting the same calories, they're like, oh shit, maybe instead of having bacon, maybe the steak is more nutritious. So maybe I should change the bacon to the steak in my diet. So who do you actually think makes more gains? Of course, it makes a lot of sense. The guy that's in the better shape on these two pictures is the one that gets in better shape because he's just a spastic that just goes into the gym. He's not very clever, but he just understands that you need to just push a little bit harder in the gym and you just need to keep on making small improvements. And the same thing for his diet. He's like, oh, okay, the yogurt bowl didn't quite fill me up last week, so maybe I'll add a little tiny bit of whey protein powder to make it more satiating and filling. And then I'll continue doing what I'm doing, but I'll just make that small incremental change and we'll see what happens next week. Of course, the guy that just goes into the gym and just makes little small improvements every single time is going to make way more gains than the guy who's planning out his workout every single time, the one that knows exactly how much rest time to have. The guy that just goes in there and makes small changes and small improvements every week will always win every single time, because that's the difference between the guy that procrastinates about going to the gym. He's the type of guy to look at all the YouTube videos, find out exactly how to be lifting. But then we've got this guy here who just goes to the gym on the first day he hears about it. He's only just heard about the gym yesterday. He's already signed himself up for the gym membership. He's already lifting weights and he's already starting to realize, oh, okay, so when I did the bench press like this and I only did 2 seconds on the way down, I felt it more on my shoulders instead of my chest. So this time I'm going to slow it down on the way down and then I feel it more on my chest. So the guy that makes small incremental changes will always win. This is the last time I'm going to repeat it for the gym analogy. The confidence loop then, boys. Once you start doing action, you actually get more energy. And I'll explain why. So you do the action. Then once you've done the action, I should say, you then get evidence about the fact that you can do it. You can absolutely do it. So you've been procrastinating about this actionable step for ages. When you finally do it, when you finally just bite the bullet and go to the gym, or you upload the video, or you go speak to the girl, you then get evidence about the fact that you can do that. Okay, yes, I am capable of speaking to that girl. Yes, I am capable of going to the gym. Yes, I'm capable of going to that run. Once you've done that, you then develop confidence. And then you're like, okay, I managed to do that, no problem. What the fuck was I whining about this whole time? And then you get more energy. And then because you've got more energy from the action, you then do more action. So it sounds very backwards, right? You think that you start off each day with zero energy, and then when you do more work, you actually lose even more energy. It seems very backwards, right? But in fact, you do an action, you get momentum and confidence that you can do that action, and then that gives you a high vibrational state, and then that makes you want to do more actions. That's just how it works. So just see it as a direct correlation between once I do the actions, I get energy. You do not wait for the clarity first and then do the actions, because the clarity comes once the action's done. So let's just make sure that we understand that, boys. If you feel like you've got no ambition all the time, it's because you need to just do some actions. You just need to do something that takes you towards what you want to get towards. And then you'll get more energy, and then you have momentum, and then you'll just keep on doing it because you'll get addicted to the feeling of doing actions, because you'll get momentum from it. So confidence comes from proving to yourself, not coming from thinking to yourself, because we like to feel good. When we start planning out our cute little day for the next day, we start to feel good about it, right? And in fact, that is a little tiny action, but it doesn't actually do anything. Confidence comes from proving to yourself that you can do the actions, not thinking to yourself that you can do the actions. So my experience, for mixed martial arts, I just showed up. I just turned up to the gym and I just realized that if I keep on turning up, I will keep on getting better at martial arts. And then eventually I was going 5-6 days a week for 10 years straight now. I've been training martial arts for over 10 years now. And now it's got to the point where, without sounding big-headed, my gap against most people is so high. Like, it takes a long time for people to get to my level now, because I've just been doing it so consistently. And it only takes 100 hours for you to be considered good at something, which means it only takes you 2 actions per week to become good at fighting, right? So if you want to get good at fighting, all you have to do is go to 1 pad session a week and 1 sparring session a week, and then you've got 2 hours of martial arts a week. You times that by 52, because there's 52 weeks in a year. That's over 100 hours. That's 104 hours. That means you're going to be considered good at doing something. So if you want to do MMA, you can join my free community where I've got a whole library full of different fight techniques. And you can also ask me as many questions as you want. And the same thing goes for the gym. I wasn't a pussy about the gym. I just turned up. I didn't have a plan. I didn't even know how to lift weights. I just turned up and I just listened to my coach explain how to lift weights. So I just went to the gym and just, like a retard, just goes, oh, okay, I'll lift a weight like you told me. And then eventually now I've got loads more muscle on my frame and I've got a lean body fat percentage. And that's after 5-10 years of action. That's after loads of imperfect action of just slowly stacking wins. And then eventually now, I as much as it sounds big-headed, I've probably got a 1% physique. I know it's hard to tell over the Loom presentation, but I'm a lot leaner than the average person and I've got a lot more muscle than the average person. Just understand that the gym, you just got to show up at first. Once you've started showing up, then you can start having a plan. When you first start going, you can then start thinking about optimizing things a little bit, okay? So if you need any help with optimizing things, I actually have a one-to-one coaching program. So the second link in the description is going to be a call book for me. So you just book a call with me. I'll write out your whole plan for you. I'll make it so you've got a whole training plan, a whole nutrition plan, a whole recovery plan, and I'll make it pretty fucking easy for you to get to your goals because I've done this for over 5-10 years now. Managed to stay at the same body fat percentage, somewhere between 10 and 12% body fat, for over 5 years now. And I'll make it pretty damn hard for you to fuck up. So consider it, boys. Book a call me below. No strings attached. If you don't want to join, then I love helping people out anyway. It's fine. That's why I make free YouTube videos. Anyways, coaching MMA. I didn't know how to command a room. When I first started teaching mixed martial arts class, I did not know how to command a room. So I had to just go in there and just do some action. I just had to try it. And then when I first did it, I was a retard. I didn't know how to command a room. I had a high-pitched voice. I didn't know how to use body language to assert authority over people. I really did not know what the fuck I was doing. So on my first day, it was really nerve-wracking for me. I didn't really know what I was doing. Then the next time I did a session, I was a bit better. And then I got a bit better. And then I got a bit better. And now I can effortlessly control a whole room. And now I can assert authority over people. That's why I speak to you with more authority over YouTube. The main reason for that is because I teach MMA. I teach people how to become me now from my previous self 5-10 years ago when I was shit at MMA. So, like I say, first link in the description, I've got a free MMA community where I teach people how to fight. There's endless different techniques, endless different challenges. It's a very beautiful community, so join up and see what you think. And then I've also got coaching. So when I quit my job at DHL, I used to work a 9-to-5 job and I used to work from home all the time. And when I was working from home, I was able to earn double money from a dodgy side hustle, which I shouldn't have been doing. But I always had aspirations of being a online fitness coach because I saw how much money you can earn. I saw how fun it is and I love teaching people how to get into shape, right? So I had no idea what I was doing. I was a complete retard. So what I did was the first actionable step was I spent £3,000 on a mentor. And then once I bought that mentor, he was giving me actionable steps. And then I was implementing the actionable steps. I weren't just looking at it. I weren't just writing it down on my cute little calendar. As soon as I received the information, I just started implementing it because I bought a mentor. If it didn't work, I could have just said to him, fuck you, bro, it didn't work, so I'm not listening to you. If it did work, it works, and I'm getting my money's worth, right? So I took a risk. I took the first actionable step, which is by buying a mentor. And then eventually, after listening to what you said, I then started implementing it. And now I have over 15 online fitness coaching clients now. So listening to people, following the actionable steps is how I got this new job. I used to work at DHL. I used to hate my life. I used to hate every second of it. And then when I finally got called back into the office because I was not really working properly, I just said, fuck this, I'm just going to quit. And I quit the job, had no idea what the hell I was doing with online fitness coaching. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I bought the mentor with the minimal amount of savings I had. I literally only had about £3,000. Bought the mentor, and then ever since then, the rest is history. I'm now an online fitness coach. I now teach people how to get into shape. I teach people how to fight full time now, which is just what I love to do. It's a beautiful life, and that's because I took action. I just went for it. I just went for exactly what I wanted to do, and I didn't have any other thoughts. I just went straight to it, tunnel vision. Socials. When it comes to socials, and it comes to Instagram Reels, and it comes to YouTube content, if you go back and watch my first YouTube video, it's so shit. I don't think you understand. I was not very good at talking to you like I am talking to you now, right? If you just go back after this video, watch my first ever YouTube video, it was so shit. But I uploaded the video, and then I realized, okay, that was a shit video, but I'm so happy that I at least uploaded it. Something I was very scared of doing. I uploaded the video. Nobody said anything bad. Same thing with Instagram Reels. I was so scared of uploading my first Instagram Reel. I truly thought that people would come up to me and show my video and go, ha ha ha, look at you on this. Nobody did it. And then I made small little incremental improvements. So I first started on Instagram Reels. I was literally posting a little clip of me lifting weights and putting some music on the top. And then I used to get about 400 views on a reel, which is shit, by the way. And then now I'm getting about 4,000, 5,000 reels. I've doubled my following on Instagram, and I've about 10x'd my income online just from doing that. So just upload the video, just upload the reel, just upload the TikTok footage or whatever you call it. I hate TikTok, but if you're trying to make videos on TikTok, just upload the video. So how to apply this then? Do what I did and start before you know how. I did not know how to do online fitness coaching. I couldn't even fathom making money online. I didn't believe that you could make money online. I thought it was just a fallacy that people just made up to try and scam people. But I bit the bullet. I bought the mentor, and then I just started implementing my online fitness coaching strategy. And I learned as I went, and I adjusted fast, and I kept the momentum going. So just understand that the path illuminates as you walk it. If you don't know how to do something, you just need to take the actionable step. Once you take that first actionable step, the path starts to illuminate. You're like, okay, that video was shit. I probably shouldn't have had any music in it. This time I'm going to not have the music in it, and then I'm going to see how it does. Okay, I got more views when I had the music in it last time. This is even worse. So this time I'm going to keep the music in, but I'm going to add some text to the screen. The path illuminates as you walk it, boys. When you first go into the gym, you're a retard, like I said. You don't know what you're doing. You're supposed to just go to the gym and just lift some weights, right? But then when you start going to the gym, you start speaking to people, and they start going, what's your split? And you're like, what is a split? I don't know what a split is. And then you ask him what it is. He tells you what it is, and he goes, well, I do chest and biceps on Monday. I do back and triceps on Wednesday, and I do legs and shoulders on Friday. And that's because they're two opposite muscle groups. So I can just do a set of chest. I can do a set of biceps. I can do a set of chest. I can do a set of biceps. And then you can go, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds like this guy gets his workouts done in half the amount of time that I get my workouts done. So I'm going to go to his split. I'm going to try it out, see how it goes. And then if it doesn't work, the path will illuminate as I walk it. Maybe I'll change the plan. So just understand that the first thing you need to do is take some action. You can't always plan your way to success, boys. You just got to chase progress. You just got to chase little incremental steps. And then, like I say, boys, if you need any help with this, you've got my free community. That is the first actionable step. Join my free community. You'll get a closer connection to me. I'm on there pretty much 24/7. I'm on there way more than I'm on YouTube. I'm on there way more than I'm on Instagram. I don't even use social media. The only social media I use is school. So join my free school community, first link in the description, and I'd love to see you in there, boys.